Hi,
hey everyone!
friends! Kelsey and Jake Bang here, and we are currently in Shanghai.
We just finished off an amazing time at the Shanghai Disneyland Resort, and we just wanted to give you some of our top tips of how to have a great experience at Shanghai Disney.
Yeah, after coming here, there were a few things that we were like, oh, this would have been nice to know beforehand or be able to plan or work around. So we just want to give you guys all of these tips to make sure that when you come, you have an awesome first experience. We loved it here, and Shanghai Disneyland is definitely a park you want to put on your bucket list. It is super cool. But let's dive into our tips. So the first one, which I honestly think is key, is staying at the resorts.
Stay at the resorts, yes, for sure. We know some people probably, you think, oh, we stay in Shanghai, we can just ride the train in, take a cab. Just stay at the resort. They're very close. They're actually really good price. They're priced really well compared to other resorts around the world. Mm-hmm. These are probably the most affordable Disneyland hotels you'll be able to stay at.
Currently, they have two. There's the Toy Story Hotel and the Shanghai Hotel on the Disneyland Resort. We stayed at the Toy Story Hotel. That was the cheapest option, and we loved it. But the benefit of staying at the hotel is
you get early access to the park 1 hour every single day. Every day you're staying at the hotel, you get to the park early 1 hour. So normally on our days we were there, it opened at 8:10 for everyone. And so you could it would open for guests at 7:10.
And there's a private entrance. So we didn't realize that the private entrance was exclusive to get to just from the buses. So one day we decided to walk
to it.
It was
and we saw the worst
horrible
lines.
Yeah.
Getting into a park that I've ever seen.
Like, we spent 45 minutes just walking
around
just to try and get to the front entrance of Disneyland, because the special entrance is back in downtown and Disneytown, equivalent of like downtown Disney. What we're saying is
ride the bus.
Ride the bus. Go to the Disney hotels, because they are worth every penny just for that extra hour, because you don't know what the crowds are going to be, and just having that hour you can get a lot of things done.
Yeah.
So that is our first tip. Stay at the Disney's hotels. Our second is purchase your Disney ticket at the hotel.
And the main reason for this is, one, I think they can give you some bundled discounted pricing for your tickets and your hotel stay. But number two, and most importantly, they can give you an extra fast pass when you're checking in, in addition to the fast passes you get when you go into the park. So get those.
Yeah. We were trying to think about like the optimal time of visiting the Disney parks like Shanghai. You can get everything done there in a day. And I would recommend like 2 days. We did 4 days just because we came to Shanghai specifically to explore Disneyland here. So I definitely feel like if you had 2 days, you could get a lot in. But if you want to kind of more take your time and things like that, you can go a few more days. But the reason I mention that is because you can only buy 2-day ticket passes at a time. And you can only buy the tickets if you don't buy them at your hotel 30 days in advance. So like if you're not staying at the hotel, you can only buy your tickets online 30 days in advance. And you want to make sure you get those, because if the days sell out,
then you can't
get in. So for instance, we were there on 2 sellout days, but we were able to get in because we stayed at the hotel.
And so they give priority to guests at the hotels.
Yeah. Also, if you're staying longer than 2 to 3 days, look into getting the annual pass. That's something we actually purchased because it was cheaper to get an annual pass than buy 4 days of tickets. Yeah. So that's something to look into, and if you have questions and stuff on that, you can look at a cast member, but it also comes with discounts and other cool perks and stuff too that are actually really helpful. So
number one being, since we're just going to talk about it real quick, 20% off merchandise. You can use it 5 times, and then the food you can use indefinitely at restaurants, 20% off. Yeah. So that was awesome.
It was a huge, big thing. We got a lot of fun merchandise and stuff, and we're able to use the 20% off. You do have to have your phone connected to WeChat.
Yes, which is
to get the discounts.
Yeah, which is possible. It's just it's hard and difficult because the American version of WeChat versus the Chinese version of WeChat has like different limitations, and the cast members, they'll look at it and be like, they'll think it looks familiar, but it's different. So Yeah.
Just make sure if you are planning on getting an annual pass to
have
WeChat downloaded on your phone in America and linked to your phone before you come to China.
Yeah.
Just it makes it a lot easier.
Good news is as well at the resorts and all in the parks they have free Wi-Fi, and it was actually pretty fast compared to Wi-Fi I'm used to back in the States. So that was good.
So we used the Wi-Fi to get all the fast passes.
Check out wait times.
So we should talk about fast passes.
Yeah.
So something you should do too, download before you come to China, is download the Shanghai Disneyland app. You can download it when you're here, but I just feel like it's easier to download that stuff beforehand. So the Shanghai Disneyland app is where you're going to get your fast passes and have, you can, like Jake was saying, wait times and see all of that kind of stuff.
And it works real familiar if you're familiar with the Disneyland California Fast Pass, where you create a party and you check out which ones.
It's super easy to use.
These Fast Passes go a lot faster. I feel like at Disneyland you can get a couple in.
Yeah.
And this one I think you could too if there weren't as many people, but the problem is everyone's getting their Fast Passes. Everyone here is using their phones for Fast Passes, and so
they run out at like 10 a.m.
Yeah. So make sure you pick the ones that you really want to go and you have to ride and you don't want to wait. Yeah.
So the rides that usually have like the longest wait times is like Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, Tron,
Soaring Over
Peter
the Horizons.
Pan, Soaring Over the Horizon always had at least a 2-hour wait line.
Yeah, the longest ride.
So those ones would be good to get good fast passes for.
Yeah.
Or use your extra early hour. And run to it.
We actually, so we're going to talk, so when you plan your day, that's the thing. Just go, if you get that early hour, go to the rides that you want to wait least for. We would recommend going to Pirates, because Pirates they can fit a lot of people on. And so honestly, every time we went in early, within that first hour we got to ride Pirates 2 or 3 times before anyone else could ride Pirates. One time we did try to go to Soaring Over the Horizons, and basically our whole hour was spent waiting in line. Although it was shorter than the other lines, and Fast Passes were out that day, so.
Yeah, so it just depends on what you want to do. But another thing is when you buy your tickets or like you check into the Disneyland Hotel, they'll give you a park map. And it's awesome because that's what you can use to help plan your day. And I really would like sit down every night and go through the park map and be like, okay, what do we want to do? What have we not done? And just really plan your day, because this park is huge. Like, it's really big and there's a lot to walk through. You can get it all done in, 1 or 2 days, but it's just, there's lots of like hidden nooks and things. And so it's just helpful to have that map to like plan your day, so you know what fast passes you want to get, what tickets you need to get, and just be ready for all of that. 3 attractions you don't want to miss.
You do not want to miss. That we would say, hands down, this is what Shanghai Disneyland is all about.
Like, if you only did these 3 attractions,
you're good.
You're good.
So, Pirates of the Caribbean. The Pirates here is amazing. They did such a good job transitioning with screens and like actual dark ride, Disneyland traditional dark rides, and it is just awesome.
It feels similar to the traditional Pirates ride, but it's like so different. It's just incredible. Like, you'll want to see it.
Number 2, I have to say is Tron. Tron was my favorite ride. There was one night after the fireworks, I rode it 3 times before park closing, and that was so much fun. The music is just awesome, and you're riding a light cycle, and it's just really fast, and it's amazing.
That was one ride I was sad I missed. I'm pregnant, and that's one of the only 2 rides at Disneyland, Shanghai Disneyland, you can't ride. So, yeah. It seemed amazing though. I watched the videos and I'm like, cool. Oh, so close. Looks so good. And the 3rd attraction that is a do not miss, is the challenge trails
at Camp Discovery.
Oh my gosh.
It's over in their Adventure Aisle section of the park, and it was so awesome.
It's so unique and super cool. So essentially what it is you get to be like an explorer. You wear a harness, strap in, and you get to go on challenge trails. And there's 3 different trails you can go on. Our favorite was when you get on, you go to the right.
Right.
That one was our favorite because it was super long. It has caves that you go through. You walk over water.
You walk on these like stepstones over water. The one on the left is also pretty cool. That one you're kind of going out and above, and it had a really cool section where there's this waterfall going into this hole, and basically the only way you can go is like going around on the inside of this hole.
It's really cool.
Yeah.
That is something that like you don't want to miss. The lines actually get pretty long for that. You have to put all of your belongings and everything in a locker as well, but the lockers are free. So that is just something that you don't want to miss. A couple other notable mentions though.
Yeah, we did like the honey pots, which are like the teacups, only your
honey pots.
poo honey pots spinning around.
But all of like the details and everything on that ride were just super well done. So that's why it goes on our notable mentions.
I also really did enjoy the walking tour through the castle, which we learned from the story is actually Snow White's castle, where she ends up happily ever after.
And it's super cool. Like they do a lot of fun videos, and it's just super neat how they did it, and it's beautiful, and we loved it. So we actually did that a few times and walked through the tour. It does have a lot of stairs though, FYI, but it's really fun. One thing we wanted to talk about is food reservations. There's not really a ton of restaurants to like book and make reservations, but one that you'll want to do as soon as you get into the park, if you like doing character dining,
is the
Royal Banquet Hall.
Banquet Hall.
And it's inside Snow White's castle. And oh my gosh, not only was the food really good, the characters were awesome. It was so much fun. It's definitely more pricey on the like sit down side, but it's really a royal experience you won't want to miss.
Yeah, we liked it.
Our quick eats, we wanted to list our three favorite quick eats. There's a patisserie called Remys Patisserie from Ratatouille, and
that had really good crepes, donuts, things like that. The crepes were really good.
Yeah, and FYI, the sweets here are not sweet. They're more like a bread donut.
Yeah, they're not super sweet.
Yeah, so they have so many really cute treats and stuff, but a lot of it is very more taste like bread type of things. They're fun. But yeah, Remy's Patisserie is super awesome. Arana Bites was Jake's favorite.
Yep,
this
I
is
really
over at
loved it.
Adventure Isle.
They had a kimchi and beef kind of wrap that was really good.
It was
Really
fantastic.
flavorful.
Like I normally won't eat kimchi because the smell is really strong. It was fantastic.
Yeah,
Like I loved it. That was really good. And our third is the Donald Waffle Stand. This one is to the left of Main Street when you come out. It's Mickey Town. It's to the left when you come out of it. And it's just a waffle stand, and there you can get a ham and cheese Donald waffle. It's
and
like
corn inside.
Yeah, it's like this little slices of ham and corn in it, and then you dip it in the cheese. And then they also have regular waffles
with ice cream, and yeah, that was really fun. So
they don't have
Mickey
syrup,
waffles,
which I don't love, but it was really good. Another thing we wanted to bring up is payment options, like how to pay for things.
So we found in China it's really hard to use a credit card. Some restaurants will have it, most places will not accept credit card. They'll only do cash payments. Good news is that at Disneyland, all the, you can pay for the hotel, you can get in. Most of the food places will accept credit card. The stores, shops, all that. A few of the small food truck
like
kind of
popcorn
food vendors,
carts and
those ones you have to pay with cash. So if you need some cash, there's an ATM in the hotel where you can just use your debit card and get some Chinese yen.
Yeah, and I think there's some at the front entrances of Disneyland too, I saw. And then one thing that was really, there's quite a few things that were interesting to us, but we wanted to bring up some cultural differences that we noticed at the park. And we don't want to bring these up to offend or anything like that, just to make people aware about them, because it's something that like I had no idea about. And one was smoking. Smoking's very different here in China than it is in the US. You literally can smoke everywhere here, and so there's smoke everywhere. So for me being pregnant, that was a little bit hard for me.
And they have designated smoking areas, but
people don't use
them. I mean, people use those, but they also, if they're out and about, they'll start smoking. So just be aware of that.
Another thing to be aware about is not stepping on the seats on the ride. So when you like step into Pirates, you jump into the floor and don't step on the seat.
Don't step on the seat and then to the floor.
That's also something in Tokyo too, but yeah, you don't step on the seats. And then the last thing about kind of cultural differences is the packed crowds. I think they're used to
people in China, there's just so many people.
Spaces and stuff here.
Yeah, and they're very used to being close to each other and just crowding in. And
so it's not horrible. Like, we loved our experience here, and like we would totally recommend coming. But those are just things that we were like, okay, these are good things to be aware about before coming. So something that's super popular here in Shanghai Disneyland is the meet and greets. They are a hit, and the lines for these can be longer than the ride time lines.
Yeah, and so basically the best spot and where we saw the most characters, or variety of characters, was just on Mickey Street or M Street. That was where Gelatoni and Shelly May,
and Stella
Lou, Shelly May, Duffy, Chip and Dale. I mean, all those characters were there. Mickey actually has his own dedicated place where you go into the Mickey Pavilion. There's a Winnie the Pooh kind of area dedicated. There was an Avengers and Marvel area where you could go meet characters. And so just lots of different places where you can meet characters and get photos with them.
And it's really fun. They do have, similar to Disneyland, a photo pass that you can do. But all the photographers are really great and will use your camera as well. So we actually just did that option because it was $30 a day versus like Disneyland Max Pass where it's $10 a day. So yeah, we just decided not to do that this round. But I saw some people working on the PhotoPass app, and it was really cute because they have like different borders, and you can add emojis
and put on them.
Yeah, just cute stuff on it. The last thing we want to talk about is this cute little passport that you can buy and use throughout the park.
Yeah, they have these little kiosks. Sometimes they're in stores, sometimes they're outside of stores. If you want to know where all of them are, they're easy to find on the map. They have a little icon on the map of where to go. And you can always just have your passport and ask a cast member. They'll point you in the right direction.
Yeah, and anytime you go to the kiosk, it's a stamp.
And you put it in. It's really cool, and it loads in. And then it does this magical sound as it's getting stamped. And you pull it out, it lines up just awesome.
Yeah, and if the machine's not working, then just go to like the nearest store, and they have a hand stamp and they can stamp it. And it's actually fun to go to the stores too, because they usually will give you free stickers. Each land has their own sticker, and so the cast members will always give them to you if you ask for them.
And what's cool, once you get done and you get all the stamps, collect all the stamps in your passport, then you can take it back to the front store and right by the entrance, and you can take it there, and they'll give you one final stamp, and then you also get a prize.
Which is pretty fun. I got a Beauty and the Beast pen.
That's awesome.
So that was super fun, but I loved doing the passport because one, it was inexpensive, and two, it was just a fun way to be able to make sure you hit every spot in the park, and you can also do it as you make your way around. So
yeah,
we thought that was really fun and enjoyed doing that.
So anyway, those are our tips for Shanghai Disneyland. If you have any other tips you'd like to recommend, write them down below or ask us any questions. We'll answer them.
Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you have a great day.
See ya.